This is Savannah Burton. She wants to be Canada's first transgender woman to compete on a team internationally. 2 years ago, she played on the men's team.
Savannah, welcome to Daily Xtra. You are one of the people profiled in the Transgender Project web series and TV show. You said growing up in the show that you were shy as a little kid. Now you're really not shy. What's it like now being your whole life just out there?
Yeah, I think the best way to describe me is probably an extroverted introvert, but I still like my quiet time. But definitely growing up, I was very closed off. I had my walls up.
So I kept it all internal. I didn't share it with anybody. It was I was not a very social person. I was kept to myself a lot.
Savannah grew up in Corner Brook, a city of less than 20,000. The pulp mill and fishing kept people employed. The only place she ever felt good was on the baseball field.
Once you're focused on something, like baseball, you're not really thinking about all your problems. You can kind of just push that aside for a few hours while you're out playing sports.
It's still a very controversial subject when it comes to guidelines for trans athletes, especially with the IOC. I still have a lot of problems with their guidelines, and I think it's really important to talk about that and get people talking about it.
With her size and strength, Savannah shows great promise in rowing. But according to Rowing Canada, she's not allowed to compete for Canada as a woman. CEO Donna Atkinson says that's because they follow the International Olympic Committee, or IOC, rules.
The IOC rules came into effect in 2004. They basically state that an athlete has to be recognized by their own country in the gender that they want to compete in. They have to have undergone sexual reassignment surgery and be at least 2 years under hormone treatment.
And you're wearing your jersey, so clearly
Yes.
you competed
Yeah.
for Team Canada in dodgeball
Yes.
internationally, and actually you got the guideline changed.
Yes.
How did you achieve that?
Knowing them already, I guess, it made it easier, and I just talked to them about what's important and what's the science behind the guidelines for trans athletes and how it's a good way to go to be inclusive, use guidelines based on the science and not beliefs or what people say, but actual facts.
The web series was called The Transgender Project. The TV series is called Am I a Boy or Girl?
Right.
What do you think of that title?
I'm not a big fan of the title, to be honest. It just projects, it almost seems like people that will be watching it would see the title as something that I would say about myself. And that's just not the case. You know, I'm a woman, I'm very comfortable saying that. I'm not thinking one way or the other. I don't think the title does the trans community justice in that way.